Okay, length of an arc. There's a formula there. Length of arc is the L we're looking at here, and the R is the radius, and in the middle is the angle. Now the proof here, the formula for the length of the arc is L equals R theta, and we're just going to do a quick proof of this formula. Now we're going to use some ratios here. L is the part of circumference, isn't it? So L over 2 pi r equals theta is the part of 360, which is 2 pi. I'm just going to change that. 2 pi. Okay, and then I'm going to make L the subject by timesing 2 pi r on both sides here. So on my left, I'll left with L. If I times by 2 pi r here, I will left with r theta, which is the same. Okay, so let's start the question. Question 1. We've got to do two things here. A circle has a chord of 30 centimeters with an angle of pi over 3 subtended at the center. Find to one decimal place where it's necessary. First one, we have to find the radius. Part B, we have to find the length of the arc. So just get this organized. So it's like cooking again. Just have to get all these ingredients right. This is R we're looking for, L we're looking for, and chord. Does anyone remember what chord looks like? It's from one end of the circle to the other. So the biggest chord will be your diameter. Okay? Because if you pass through the center, that'll be the longest. Okay, so if I sort of sketch this, what it looks like, it'll be like this. So I'm just gonna sketch this. Yeah, a circle and a chord. Just say that's 30 centimeters. And then that's the center. Oh, it says subtended at the center. So that's my pi over 3 here, and that's my r. Okay, so that's what it looks like right now. So let's start the question. Part A, find the radius. Now, to find the radius here, you can use cosine rule or sine rule. It doesn't matter which way you use. But with a sine rule, you have to find angle here, okay, which is just, 2 pi, pi take y pi over 3 and then halve it. That'll give you, because it's a isosceles. But I'm going to use cosine rule here. So let's have a look. Do you remember cosine rule? That's my dog. 2. No. Got confused because my dog's barking. Cos C. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is, C is a 30, and then R, because A and B is R squared, minus 2R and R, and cos pi over 3. Now, pi over 3 is, what is it? It's a 60 degrees. Now, do you remember cos 60? Cos 60 is half. So, I'm going to put this on this side. It'll be 2r squared minus 2r squared half. This is this one equals 900. That's what I've got. Okay? And 2r squared and halve it, r squared equals 900, and r squared equals 900, r equals plus minus 900, but r has to be bigger than 0, so I'm just going to take the positive, and 30 centimeters. So that's my radius. Now that's my part A. Part B, find the length of the arc. L equals, I'm just going to use a different color, theta. So the theta, we got it, pi over 3, and r we just found 30. So it'll be 30 times pi over 3 will give me 10 pi, and put that in my calculator. I will get 31.4159 something something dot dot, and it says 1 decimal place, so I'm just going to go with that. Excellent. So that's the answer. Now question 2. Okay, here we go. A sector of a circle with radius 10 centimeters. So quickly, an angle of pi over 4, the theta will be pi over 4, subtended at the center, is cut out of cardboard, and it is then curved around to form an open cone, and find exact volume. Volume of the cone, I don't know whether you remember it, equals 1 over 3 times pi r squared times height. Now volume is what? Area of the base times height, and the area of the cone is, base of cone is a circle, so pi r squared, and the times by perpendicular height. Okay, so what does it look like? What does it look like here? I'm just going to sketch this, just for some people might not get that picture correctly. So that's a pi over 4, that's 10 because it's a radius, that's L, we don't know. That has to form an open cone here. That 10 radius becomes slant height, and that's my perpendicular height, that's my R, okay, and that's right angle right there. Okay, so with open cone, it doesn't really matter with the volume, it will matter for surface area, so we're not going to worry about that part too much. Okay, so let's have a look. What do I have to find all these things? First thing first, I need to find radius. Okay, why? In order to find the volume, I need to find the radius, I need to find the height, which I don't have. So, and then I need to find the height, and after all that, I can find my volume. Okay, so let's find the radius first. I might use the different colors. So how are we going to find radius? I'm going to use L equals r theta for this one. Now this L here is r theta, we can use that, but where this L goes here, it's this here, isn't it? Because you curved it. So here L is circumference, so it'd be 2 pi r. Okay, just remember that. So now L equals r theta, r is 10, and then theta is pi over 4. So my L here is 5 pi over 4. Now, what does that mean? And we still don't have a radius. Now, but if I use this part, I get L equals 2 pi r. And that's equal to this. So I'm going to go 2 pi r equals 5 pi over 4. Okay? And if I do that and times by 2 pi on both sides, I will get and then I will get 5 over 4. Ooh, what did I do there? I'm so sorry, people. See, this is what happens if I don't teach in the classroom. There's a mistake, isn't there? Because if I do that, it'll be 2. So I'm going to change that quickly. I know you've been screaming at me, but I couldn't hear you. So then it's 2, and it's 2, Now it's okay. Excellent. So that's my here, and I'm going to go to my height here. So I'm going to use a different color. So height, I'm going to do this. So I found my R up here. Okay, so I'm going to use my right angle triangle right there, H, 10, and that's 5/4. So I'm going to use my Pythagoras Theorem, H equals 10 squared minus 5/4 squared. Now be careful not to use calculator on this one because the question said exact volume. So I'm going to just calculate this part first and put it in without square root. 5. About to make another mistake. Okay, and then what happens is 1575 over 4. 1575, square root of that, and then over 4. Now, that's my height. Before I do that, I'm going to just simplify a little bit further with what I've got, a square root of 1575. Now, I think I sort of mentioned a few times in my videos that I do upside down. And if you divide it by 5, the prime numbers on the here, you will get 315 divided by 5 because it finishes with 5. It has to be vectors of 5. And I'm going to do 5 again. I'll get 63. So that equals 5√63. So, okay. That means I can simplify this with this one. So my R is 5/4. My H is 5√63/4. Now I can do volume. Excellent. So let's do volume. Volume equals 1/3 times pi r squared times height. So 1/3 times pi times r. Now we have to be careful with here because we want the exact value. So 563.4. Okay, so I'm onto the edge of it. Now what I'm going to do, pi times 25/16 times 4, 563. And I can't really cancel any of these. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to times it. 25 times 5, 125, √63 with the pi. And then 3 times 16 times 4, because I can't really see any where I can cancel. And if I do that, and centimeters cubed. That's it. Well done.